crazy.
Now, Joe, here's my question for you.
Okay.
Let's talk my workout for a second. Let's talk my Omega Brain. Alpha Brain? Alpha Brain. Now, Pete Holmes turned me on to the Alpha Brain. And oddly, it completely works.
100%.
And
it's all based on science. I mean, we have double-blind, placebo-controlled studies. It's not something we invented in terms of like the actual nutrients and their response to human neurotransmitters. It's all been documented. People have known about nootropics for a long time now.
And I always feel like I'm the perfect test case for a product like that, because most days I go in a room with 11 writers in the morning. I'm as tired and as foggy as you can be. I do not drink coffee, so I don't...
You don't drink coffee at all?
I just don't like it, so I just... The only coffee I like is ice-blended mochas, which is all sugar.
Right.
So I avoid it. And when I started taking that, I would completely wake up and be sharp without like some weird caffeine buzz or sick from it or whatever. And I would see it every day like, wow, I was funny as hell for the last 2.5 hours. And I did not start in that place. So I'm fascinated by your general program, like what you're doing all day with all this stuff. Like what's the current Joe program?
Well, I'm always doing something, you know, and in terms of like diet, you mean, or in terms of like
what's the
exercise?
workout? What's the diet? What's the meditation? What's the main tenets of your day?
Well, my workout, I schedule every Sunday. I schedule everything that I'm going to do during the week. I say I have to do yoga 2 times this week. I have to lift weights 3 times this week. I have to run twice this week. And however I fit that in, I fit that in. But I owe those things. Okay. So I have to get those things in. The only exceptions are injuries and sickness. So that's the schedule. And then on top of that, there's other things that I enjoy doing: kickboxing, jiu-jitsu. Work those in when I can. Then diet. The diet is pretty strict in terms of like no bread, very few carbs, no sugar, no bullshit. Like healthy food, a lot of vegetables, a lot of meat, game meat mostly, wild game. And I take vitamin supplements every day. I take multivitamins, I take probiotics, I take vitamin B12 and D and a lot of different things. I just I do everything that I can to put my body and my brain in a good place, so that I'm keeping my engine smooth. I'm changing my oil. I'm changing my spark plugs. I'm making sure that it's operating. I mean, it's not going to be perfect, but I know that I've done my best to keep it working the best that it can.
And who's the person that advises you on like nutrition? Is there a guy? Is there a woman? Who taught you how to do it? How do you do it?
Well, there's a ton of people that I've used as a resource. There's a woman that I have on the podcast on a regular basis. Her name is Dr. Rhonda Patrick, and she's probably the best resource. Like, I sent her something the other day on some new study on saturated fats. Like, whenever there's some sort of an issue, there's a new study on cryotherapy or saunas. Like, the saunas are incredibly effective. I don't know if you ever you have
just
a sauna.
got one.
Oh, so
Like
huge.
with the UV rays, or what is it?
What is it called? Not ultraviolet. Infrared.
Infrared.
You.
Yes. We just got one of those.
Saunas are giant. You know, the raising of the body temperature like that, and the heat shock proteins, incredibly beneficial to your body. There was a study that they put out recently that showed a 40% decrease in mortality from all causes due to people who take regular sauna. Like, it just literally keeps your body healthier.
Yeah.
Like,
Wow.
Having that massive exposure to heat and your body producing these heat shock proteins, it reduces inflammation. It helps in so many different areas for people. And it's just, sit down in the hot room. It's really good for your body.
Regular is how many times a week?
For sauna, I think they were saying 4 times a week.
Wow.
But I mean, how hard is that, man? Just force yourself to sit in it. I mean, if you have it at home in particular, or if at your gym, just go there and sit in that fucker for 15 minutes. It doesn't take long.
Well, I'm going to have to get all this written out. How about this? I do everything you do. We make that a special. It's the Judd Does Joe's programs.
You have to build up.
Yeah.
You have to build
I got to bulk
up.
I may have already bulked
up. I mean, build up like your joints and all that stuff. It's got to get used to that kind of a pounding.
Yeah.
There's a lot a lot of shit is going to be happening if you want to do everything I do.
So I can't just do 12 pounds on a free weight.
You don't want I mean, it's not even. You're not going to want to do everything I do.
Yes.
Like I have a friend who runs ultra marathons, and I just started running recently within the last couple of months. I'm not running a fucking ultra marathon. I'm not doing everything. Hey, I'll do everything you do. It would break my feet. It would break my knees.
Yeah.
You got to just build up.
You got to have time too.
Yes.
There's something about, when you run TV shows, it's all freaking day every day. So people say, when do you work out? I'm like, there's no time.
Yeah.
What am I going to wake up at 5 in the morning and put in 2.5 hours? I got to drive my kids to school at 7:40.
That's one thing. You don't need 2.5 hours.
Yeah.
You could get a great workout in 40 minutes, and that's all you need for the whole day. 100%.
Yes.
You really can, especially if you run. Like I run hills, and I can get it done in a half an hour. Like a fucking brutal workout, a 2-mile brutal hill climbing workout in a half hour. I'm exhausted.
Yeah.
This idea of time. Like, how much time did you put in today? Like, you could work out in a bullshit manner for 2 hours and not get nearly as much done as you can for a half hour hard just running.
Yeah. Or like interval training.
Yeah. Sprints and then relax, then sprints again. But I just think being active and doing something on a daily basis, forcing your body to get used to the fact that it's going to constantly be working, constantly being under stress.
Yes.
And then it gives you more energy. It's like you have more of a gas tank. You have more enthusiasm for things.
That's the scary part about Trump. His theory on exercise is you only have so much energy per day, and he thinks that exercise uses it up.
Yeah.
And so he doesn't ever exercise.
Yeah.
That's
Well,
got
he
to come
doesn't-
back at him at some point.
Well, he's fucking 70. I mean, how is it not come back at him already?